baby a yedro no nti yebedi ho nkoma no pay electricity tariff electricity 27%, water 21%, and also ayasem yebedi ho nkoma nti ena no pay abedwafo abeka mensa me no wo be dwumadie eye owura Tofik Muhammad oye political Muhammad Adamu ka ho ho nti me fada mu nka ho Muhammad Tofik Adamu oye political science lecturer ewo UPSC Nkane University of Professional Studies UPSC eho ena wo me ma no Kwabena ena fe Alhaji Halidu Haruna enso this communication team no wono so waka obi ono tim benkum so me hu na che papa Alhaji salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
That's right. And me sign so ewo Ben Insia or your head of research at the is it Kopek? Yes. Kopek. One also ewa ha. One also on the unkomshini or shem komwa na samaba. Okay.
You want to title Bishop.
Bishop. Oshen komwa eba mu pa de obeka bia na eba mu nti fa ngo bo no kan ye se yebetu mu no yetumu nti na ebebi sanse ebe santum bi ona ade se kra se yetum de bia
eja comrade akonshefo nyine aduane ho
akonshefo nyine dabi wo de tena ho wo aduane anya de be ye kra e ma makwa aba yo ya sha se mfamfiri baby a yesi kasam ekekan ko ese dollar ni demrika gidigidi CFA ya hwena no he ya dwane kokora na se yefa pounds a wono so sa ena euro no so sa da ba de dwane pa ni america na no o hyepa e dollar no ekopa baby yedri yebe san yechi yebe gina ho ana yebe ekoye nim Tofik mamisha sin free so this economic situation in the country or may say kasam be a war exchange rate no fundamentals no are you weak and say I dey since man penny say the economy will bounce back man penny be the actually so kind the economy will bounce back it bounce back and I hwe am you do 10 cities 16 pesos
yeah
kon say
bibi a seed no ekodo no sisi ayentumi enka the economy is weak or the city is weak because we are past stage of weakness maybe to me yakade the city is now porous wakade bibi a porous or the azar anhia say emia bonda no popo that's how the rate at which you incident or depreciate to that extent and unfortunately there are many factors that account to the minya or see one of it has to do with the mismanagement of the economy and when we are talking about mismanagement of the economy, one of the factors has to do with the wasteful expenditure in the system, especially at the corridors of power. So the lifestyle of government or the presidency, nyama aban oriye meanwhile aban osisken yo but sehwe nyama aban otum ozi sika oziye nyama most of the time onfa mpuntu onfamba omanemu yet aban goes ahead doing them. Look at the vehicles aban you know government officials will use very brand new Land Cruisers. They are still procuring them. Meanwhile, yes, in the economy on yet. We have always been associating the falling of our city to COVID and the war in Ukraine.
Yes, because I say Sir, you see, I say, be a dream, and yet mismanagement, that word mismanagement, you know. No, a pandemic, no.
No, Agya.
And now a debay, and see, I say any mismanagement, no more, as a result of the pandemic, COVID.
Agya,
Yes, sir.
I mean, we are in this country, and the way Aban or misuse Sika. Aban cannot, they are all political gimmicks, they are political rhetoric, because Aban certainly must have some level of excuse or explanation for the falling level of the economy. So there's absolutely nothing wrong. Saban Kade, it is not about the mismanagement of the economy, but other factors that include COVID and so on and so forth. Yeah, we know the lifestyle Aban or lead in this country. So that the masterman, we cannot. It's part of it. The lifestyle of government is part of it. We're in this mess when our president, so Urutukwana, we see the kind of luxury, the cost also by Omanemu, the flight, private jet offer at exorbitant cost. When people in the country, we are asked to tighten our belt. They tell us we are in an austerity time. So citizens are asked to tie their belt whilst the president is loosening or presidency is loosening their belt. Nina has effect on our economy, and we should know that. And COVID or bear within the time of elections, and we know Sika was say in that time. Oban, look at the COVID funder, Yazebay. I mean, COVID funder Oba Ikronomu. How do we account, or how have you accounted for Mesa expenditure? All of these things come as cost to the country. So Aban Untumin can try and there, the lifestyle and mismanagement is not, as a result of the main. I think we need leadership is about taking responsibilities. Aban has to accept some level of responsibility as far as where we have gotten to is concerned. But Aban to catch and there, no, he is not responsible, but trying to put the responsibility on other factors that don't have even direct influence on our economy. I find it sickening.
Obi baka say I can say government expenditure no. I can say no na mama no any effect bia e effects e economy no so no. Abanso chese say ye na sheda nya I remember my penny kwa kasem na recently. I think on March 23rd they say almost some amount of dollars be dollars be and pump it to the system. I bema is a casamuno, a best
bounce back.
But after that, sky you do go system no money na no. Ade no kwana eko. Bibi shebebi aye hu. I no tie man move to that level ye kan koi.
Another reason in response to Asama Akin there. For a very long time since independence, the Ghanaian economy, they call it the Georgesbergian economy. Economy, it doesn't produce, it rather consumes. And experts upon experts have said that Ghana as a country, there's the need for us to diversify an economy. There's the need to promote more production and cut down the level of export in the country, because export here are very famous. Chicken, import into the country every year. Look at the amount of money Aban or the state has to spend in exporting just chicken, poultry into this country. So bro, and on the international market, on your city na wazoto nyamao. Is the CD is the dollar that you use to go and buy these things. So if within the country you don't promote, the concept of industrialization, so that in Yaman kitchen bi or day or man in Yanka say to me, this can occur or manum, need to me and Yama bebrebe, expand the economy, youth unemployment, solve all these problems. But saying to me and Yadamazan, and we export almost everything, including even matches. If we have to export even matches into this country, certainly these in our economy were pansam. And government has the responsibility to make sure that the main worry and work do we encourage private sector into the economy.
Say no no one district one factory by.
Oh, one district.
So one district one factory and yes share no a bunch is about 100 and over 100 factories.
One district, one factory. I mean, I will say him for. What have we been able to do with one district?
Eco juice.
Our him for. You know, ekunfi juice here working. Nizinimpo or sosan. What is actually on the ground? We have made a lot of capital out of it. Actually, the media stand on ekunfi, juice or some person the market itself. How many people? Now, I always say when it comes to issues like this, I also want to bring the media into it. One kasa some trophone. What kind of study have you done on some of these one district, one factory kind of thing? You also rely on government data. Government catch on there. He has put up 100 factories around, and you also pick it up and you start sharing it. On your platforms. There's the need for you so you need to go and see what Ekunfi market juice and other one district, so-called one district. You need to go and see what they are doing. How many people have they been able to employ, and how are the companies also doing in the market? You need to do all these studies and then come and report to us, because it's part of your responsibility. It's a normative responsibility of the media to do all these things. We don't always have to rely on government data and what government do. And we know, you and I, yimde abanze, mobile no na aban na no yedaw. Monye popo catch de waye. So waye 1 oba catch de waye 10. So I poncho oba catch de oye nintwi. That's how they are. But one media, you serve as intermediaries between Inyan and the government. You must be serving as a check on the government. So, Aban or Kasama, you need to go beyond what has been said and then find the facts out and come and report to us. And so, say, yen economy based, mesa economy with Kubra. On ya Aban continue responsibility. Including the opposition party. The opposition party must also be more responsible in some of these things. So, I mean, that's what I can say so far.
Okay. What kind of opposition party nintina? What kind of imagine call? Haruna so. Haruna, he said economy be a drew nini. I quite remember Mampeni Abedi actually the then running mate of Nana Danko Kufado, Dr. Baumiaka say, if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Most of our number can
Medasina maminchia ashefo na mechia me colleagues ewo ha na meda mo production team so asi. Eja Kwabena.
Yes sir.
Ghana yewo nimde na yenim hawa ewo ye sikasemo a ye economy a sabiu my brother Aboso I can say before Omampeni Nana Adudan Kufu Ado Beba Beye Omampeni no Ono Ankasa can say we need to change the structure of our economy. Now the change of the structure of the economy no enye say ubekwa akwaji busia na udi sa sikano better car udi be renti aircraft na for your comfort and obeye niyama ensa enfata. In fact, Omwa Shebo said they will move the economy of our country from transaction to production. What it simply means is that almost strengthening ye tuwa sebi ye tuya dudua ye tuya ewo Ghana. Na ye ma ye companies industries are no the free ye can say space are to produce. Now say what to me emma production ewo what it simply means is that you export the product or industry no then you earn foreign exchange. What can say no Ghana for J2 I can say who was our dream no na in normal life problems are to me who the real problem is about 50% percent of what solve. Now the remaining 50%, kwanya obefa so a resolve no enu na betre say wo nim de. Sure. This aban wo ho no. Na omo akeka bebre etia John Dramani Mahama. At the time John Mahama bae no. Yen say aman Ghana hia say yentimi nya stability of our currency. Currency no na one di ehia ye. The economy has to, a lot of investment has to be done within the economy. You take various steps to resolve, and in policy implementation, you implement the policy now, it takes some time to get the feeling of that, the effect of that policy. And first of all, John Mahama who say, largely, omo traders, omo ko amanoni import no. Omu use dollar. And to decide say okay, in consultation with Bank of Ghana, omu ko China no. Bank of Ghana will make available the currency, China currency instead of dollar. Yes, Chinese yen instead of dollar. So ukwa na uko banker upe say we transfer. They would rather transfer the yen because say uji dollar no. Na uju China certainly no. Ubesisa ako yen bi. So why don't we do it here to resolve the demand for dollar? That was one kwanya Jomama. Like the suggestion by now only Bank of Ghana omodi sa inhihenu tutu ewo kwan mu. Second, what decided say Islamic banking. Obe introduce what we call Islamic banking. Now Islamic banking me call Saudi Arabia in 2009. Me call up to now omo exchange rate BBI original sa na original up to today from 2009 till date. Ukwa $100 the amount of almost currency will be sa na. So you say sometimes no ko jibusia interest no a sabio e kan no e di how eba. So you be introduce aspect of Islamic banking. Omo a sabio mpese that kind of facility no o mentimi anya. Apart from that it take steps say importation of frozen food. A dose the amount of money that goes out of this country through foreign currency dose. Enti the policy by say who to 70% outside, 30% within. Now 30% within no. The question yebisan say yebetimi ameti the demands no ana. Enti through the agric ministry no. You decided say the day old chickens and say no available to the farmers, poultry farmers now buying edisa chickens poultry farmers to get more of it produced in this country so that 30% of it meet that demand. And we also realize say there are certain aspects of drugs Ghana through our pharmaceutical industries. And Omampeni John Dramani Mahama makes available $50 million at the Massa pharmaceutical industries. Say a drug ebetimi a manufacture in Ghana. Yenye ewo Ghana. Na sabiwo ye unko India. And other countries are ebe kwa kokra sa injuru. And another policy or taking he realized the importation of rice. Edosu. And in fact, let me just give you in 2020, Ghana cry an amount of $391 million. Yeah, the crown more. And in fact, we were 20th largest in terms of importation of rice in this country in 2020. Vietnam, Thailand, India, Pakistan, and China. Now in Vietnam, we take as much as $282 million. In Thailand, $4.5 million. In India, $27.3 million. Pakistan, $20.6 million. China, $5.95 million. We share amount of money I call in terms of dollar. Any demand yeah share. And dollar no so yeah dollar Ghana. Their ABR yeah ko busia yeji na reserve wo Bank of Ghana enuna yeah DSA win. Not too long ago, I've heard my brother on radio or can say those who are importing petroleum products omo here over $450 million to import. But Bank of Ghana omo nya sasika no omo di bema importers no. So they only provide them with $25 million. What it simply means is that the rest of the dollar no omo call commercial banks no. Now omo call commercial banks no, the rate difference no what it means additional cost to the consumer because okonya dollar no now importer. Yeah. So we know the problems. Solution no na John Dramani Mama I started we must see there be a more superior idea than what John Dramani Mama or no. Inti superior idea no we superior idea no and then omampeni ka kire say onu de wodi na asem ni na edi ahye nyaminsa. And it tells you that it's helpless. In fact, nyankopon boy no o mayenyensa na yemfa nyansa no nhwehwe nimde. Wo sa nimde no na wo si yemfa tumi no hyenwusa. Ene wo si nyame a o abɔ ama wo sa nimde no na ka no sa nyansa wo di anya nimde no wo si wo twa no na onu But you see, that is why God created us. And he has given us all what is available. It's important to say, yes, you pray. But prayers alone will not solve. In fact, Pastor Mensa Otaba said prayers cannot resolve the economic challenges of our country. It is a focused vision. Investment, capital investment, Sabi. Why? Under the German most you can say so boa omodi boy no say ye gi sika ye di ba na ye di consumption. But at least we have evidence of capital investment. The establishment of a Boazi thermal plant reduce the importation of gas today as we speak now ebimo bisa say Argentina your electricity, your how economic challenges, but the electricity no agina. Ebi mo abisa sa question no. Na emrewe chomu a almost sikasem entina yenti, but because John Dramani Mama etimi resolve problems no. Because issues of fuel importation, gas sabi emrewe chomu a ye use West African gas pipeline. Enu one tuya emre bi ba mbeka cho say yemfa mamu bio yemfa mamu a untumi power o generator no so say untumi power generator no, then it means that obeda esum no but ya timi ISI investment the same investment is paying for itself. I think that this government, honestly speaking, they have no excuse to fail.
Because they have no excuse to fail. Say economy na e koso kama aban ekyese na nyama nyina ekoyeto say COVID be boom say boom.
You see,
COVID na say bi.
Sa issue no.
Na Ukraine and Russia for so long.
Ema sa economy e ko kama no. Enye tutu a omo aye. Ema economy ni ko kama.
Na den.
Eye Juma Mahama eye in 2015-2016 investment a enuna ema economy ni in 2017-2018 ejina yi. And I'm challenging anyone to dispute this fact. In fact, prior to 2016 election, now the Economic Intelligence Unit predicted the growth of Ghana's economy by 7%. Omoka eno, omosi, it will happen as a result of the increasing the generation capacity of electricity, so electricity problem. But at the cry ebe ku atia jomama ni say the effect of the resolution of the crisis, the Ghanaian people will not feel it because on need time. So mbe tu atia. Wow. And so the growth of the economy at that material time, 2017, 2018, yeah, predicted already because now the mama higher investment of $7 billion into the oil sector through ENI, Italian company. Yeah, discovered 2 additional oil fields. So for me, you see, God is just exposing them. HDP say, Omanya sabi ye bumai enye kasa. I remember Pakwesi Ndu. Pakwesi, the former vice president of John Mahama. Mr. Atta. Pakwesi Mr. Atta. But say Sabio pressure.
This
is critical issues. Pressure either Ghana for Suno enye agro. Mr. Atta. Catch time Baumia catch and say 170 questions say ombe answer questions or catch and say Baumia or use textbooks economy or the boomer but yen use textbook economy the boomer and I think that he is justified with the current situation na ene ukasa Baumia yedin wankashwi the depreciation of this city will continue and it will be even worse. In fact, say in Kurese, there were 150 factory, as they allege, say Omaye, we will not be where we are.
Man, penny say more soothsayers, more atamfo ni be atamfo bebre atamfo ni be say economy ni be jana nanso ama wo mo a ye soothsayers no wo mani be wu.
You see,
man penny kasa semu ya say the negina bibi so he is the overall boss of Omano. On a bibiani ebu akonta chance we nti so no nyu akokuduro na okasa do you have to doubt him?
I would doubt him because waka chire onyame say obese cathedral man once so I would doubt him.
So gususi
say wa ogususi 7 years oshebo in opposition when you to me I want mensi me untwa ntro baako e chire me a me mawo kwan a obe repeat bi
me that's it na I also be topic be but me menko Ben so na Mr. Ben wo hwe economic situation you say be bia yekoyi a factors ni e bebre anyway imano kutia ba me amekuro ni waba ono te akirichi wo me hu na chepa yima akọ aba
yeah me just
bibia boko
oh nyame dia che ya
yeah the radiase Ben I said there America there no America na etu I quite remember bra na a year dollar na year around 6 point something no you can say ebeko 8 and the government disputed say enya dia ebidru bebi adru no the woman kakrakra yedru 8 ebi no predict say ebeko 10 and also sa they say no edru 10 tra 10 eko see the covid in some to nchen there are other factors. But I say you import niema bibiri said ye na ye kan. And oil currency you say sika wa ye be import no kra no. Buburja. It is economy no e shakia. Those factors no e wo mu bi. Do you have to blame the government? Say ono no wan ya na dwuma yie. Enti na yedru ba bia yedru.
But I say Jacob na. I think say answer the cost no. I was saying I tell me say elementary economics as I said. The currency depreciate here. Na say economy no export led economy okay advantage to you because it makes your products cheaper on the international market. You know and can near depreciate okay any GKCS economy no economy you produce a lot of things and then we export them. Because countries like China, countries like Russia, even Arabian countries intentionally devalue their currency so that their products will be cheaper on the international market. So depreciation here and Kenya the money. However, the economy no mate say economy no import driven. But if you trade balance, Ghana is not an import driven economy. It's an export based economy in the sense that okay, first half of 2022, Bank of Ghana data release here on first economic basic data, elementary data release here. First half of 2022, no, you export to $9 billion worth of product, $9 billion na mekano, and I import to almost $7 billion or something.
First
First half of 2022, you import to $9 billion. and export to 9 billion rather, sorry. Export to 9 billion and I import to 7 point something billion. In terms of trade yeah, export based.
Yeah, no 2 billion difference in our
difference. Yeah, almost 2 billion difference.
Dollars.
Yeah, export based. The fundamental problem is the ownership of this economy. And that is where you need for your come. Abribiana edi nyakesi because the economy is not owned by Ghana or Ghanaians. Which are the drivers of this export? Gold. For the extractive sector. How much does Ghana owe? And own. Sorry, own. And say how much does Ghana as a country owner? How much does individuals in Ghana own in the extractive sector?
Say on man na ebia beka so man che fan wo gold ni ma yetumu ni a ebia timemu for ye amount for ye Ghana for no wo shares do send the wo
one. So we extractive sector if you are oil sector. Mate politicians ba ya boa ma ya hu ya discover oil first ya see. But ask yourself, bizarre say oil fields are what discover no o share wo mu ye say.
Okay.
So we are an export based yeah or my export to do. But sikana ye export to enye dia. Nti ube hu o account current account always you are running into deficit because abrofo no etam yisika no ekoton na manonia some of them even keep it there they don't even bring it back. So books mu no export more than what import. But in reality no
it's enye.
And that is a fundamental problem Dr. Baumia can then. And it is true today. But the challenge with us is that we know all these problems. But solution na sebi. I say sebi respectfully. I say school na yekono kwa. Because I believe that the purpose of education is to solve problems. And problems can be solved through policy. Abai enye wasedie ne say yes factory if you are a socialist oriented person or ideologically inclined what beka say aban asede ne say obesi factory amaye aban asede ne say obeyi but say unye socialist oriented na bia we capitalist or right wing person and a center right person and say the MPP we are okay ye nye de ne say obesi ama ye de ne say be create policy na be more sa enable environment no say obesi policy ni bi wo ye ni bi ne mate say 131 factory but Jacob now ask yourself this 131 factory ebo hu dey are they Ghanaian owned businesses? Most of them are Chinese owned businesses
and
India owned businesses.
Then take taxpayers money
to give them exemptions,
tax
holidays at the end of the day no or creative ye na so onya de sika ni we afi no so a
no de ko
o sign de ko na abeye ka e wo so
eja me pacho me pese me se
okay,
me bra
right.
kakra. It's very important say issues here me bra area they are very very important but it's also important to put them in context. Context na me chene say enya ade a sebi e sha within this political regime.
Since independence.
Part of that's why I spoke about the economy. It has been done up to today. And politicians up to now don't have the political will to change issues around. We go to school in order to solve problems. And we knew these problems from day one. So independence struggles and some speeches are coming Nkrumah and make it it's about the ownership of the Ghanaian economy, the African economy, and
by Africans,
Africans themselves.
Okay, that's the point made.
But Nkrumah has made an effort to change it through the 7-year development plan. But almost two no.
You see, okay.
So His Excellency the Vice President, he knew the problem. Inti the na okani fundamental, structural, kasa ni na no then. And it is true today. But the problem no contextually ni say obeye mampanyina be di akire no. Policy ben, ishisheye ben e na odi abase sa problem yen correcting once and for all. Na emfa oman no enko anima na say entumpon. Still yen solution no. Now the solution has been that historically and Dabia Meka say depreciation of the currency no I think is policy cooked you said that criticize the biano cedi in depreciating. So because you say cedi appreciating against the dollar, mystery because you know how what we do historically. Say who says cedi no ho kire na yakopa busuan amanane. Yakopa busuan amanane a na dia be choku cedi ne kakra. Ye choku ne kakra na ahondi na peja kakra. E peja kakra, oh, we've managed the city. And especially this current government, that's most of the things, that's what they did. When they came into government, omu bo busuan pi. Inti busuan no born in dollars. Inti abribia no reserve no so. Inti reserve no so a ma wo sa anidaso na say anidaso say one manage city no, but who manage hwe. Because the problem will come at you again.
Artificial stability.
Wow. Inti what create artificial stability no say one manage city no because busuan na wa bono doso. Not because what produce we bring, but busuan or the manage no. Inti e bedru brebia obusuan bono entimi nko ani bioma. Then he keeps hunting you. He comes back to you. May I tell people that in the short term, there's no problem, there's no solution to this problem.
Samu.
Oh no. See the Ibe depreciate, and I'm not the president, so maybe the president will assure us. And what he said was right. So assure and say, nyame beye, no kre, jidio nyame mo betumaye. But scientifically, see the way. Regardless of Bank of Ghana policies or the policy rate or increase, or increase the policy rate no, to 30. The cedi will not stabilize against the dollar.
Why?
The ability to stabilize against the dollar in the short term is for us to get some loan. Maybe World Bank, IMF loan no. NB to me aba 3 billion anybody at least. Ebe moya who say a foreign reserve na aye kesinti stability baba kakra. But as on my in the medium and long term, Jacob,
yes,
we need to solve this problem once and for all. And it doesn't take one political party. It takes collective brainstorming. Say you know idea dream be booms. Say na you be solve problem once and for all and repeat it. Because ne say you create on charade be artificial one be na sika ne ba na cedi no stabilize ya. Ya ni beje say you stabilize cedi no. But dan kwama no e be san ba biom. Me I know say projections no what I know is that by December cedi no is likely to hit 14 cedis to $1. The only time I see the number stabilizing may be in the second quarter of 2023, and that is when the money, when IMF scanner has started ever. But beyond IMF scanner say ban on mine, how do you solve it now? The Biameka
Bank of Ghana can say you say, only she be back said the beya, omne a foreign investors no, a din como says and como years can obudi fee her econo, cabe possible, omunya or system no mumai. Na ye minim. Sans share say bit to me how feasible that is. Say bit to me ye juma sadia.
A bit to me aye. You see, and Anabia make us say, oh Maya. You see, Abrofon oh mine, they call it state.
That's true.
And the state is stronger than any individual. State is stronger than any private entity. Ayo mra, ayo policy. Ye diaba, o ye foreign business ye say. Afinu ekwawi ye usika na ye ma wonfa sei enkwa amanane. If you are willing to operate in Ghana, you operate. If you are not willing to operate, you leave the shores of the country because it's a law, a policy abiding yaba. And you have any kwakosre. However, no Bank of Ghana this statement here, but there are a lot of statement Bank of Ghana has made that. Ye dreams and policy be back, and a document be back. He say na yes per se you know. The civil society space will study it, how feasible it is. What recommendations can we also give to make it a better one? Ne aminuka say yes, better gold. Policy document be ama. Ye who say no better gold no.
Yes, I was almost to be credible.
Fine. But Kenya krata bia ye nyina ye kan ye hu say na also ye no. Nsusuye be na yeso betimi dia be yi. E ma out. Ye say ye ma foreign owned businesses no or ma Jessica bi ha document bia ma out. They say the Bank of Ghana person ye say me dey say. And that is the view of a lot of Ghanaians. The problem is not Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana betimi increase treasury bill rate a lot of times which could even have a dire consequence on our economy. That is, it will crowd out the private sector. So, interest no be say. And problem in your Bank of Ghana. The problem has to do with the Ministry of Finance. Problem is fiscal. And your BOG because BOG ne policy or the bano ye nyina schools I know much say abribia inflation e cost no. Person manage inflation increase the policy rate. We increase the policy rate now. A man for a better treasury in this kind because liquidity there's a lot of, but in this current situation no and yes because of say cash in the system no more a cost pushed And cost push no is not locally made. It is imported cost. Because a bit of currency be depreciating, no, it becomes an add-on cost. And driving inflation, no. It is driving inflation now. The policy rate they go 22%, thinking that people will come and invest in your economy. They will not come because Kwabena say TB rate and our government bond rate. I think it's around 25%. Policy rate as a sign, equal 22. Policy rate go 22% now, which means TB rate is likely to go to 30%. If I am an investor and I know that in the next 90 days, 91 days, inflation is likely to hit 41%, there is no way I'll buy government bonds.
That's true.
Me thought that I will not.
Inflation.
I will never buy it. So the problem is not Bank of Ghana. The problem is the Minister of Finance. He has to put certain expenditure measures out. Say, baby, say, you what trade. In this can be why say, he's not doing it. And revenue, we are not realizing it. We have Bank of Ghana data, domestic revenue, percentage of GDP was 4.6% in the first half of 2022. Because businesses are suffering. So how would they even pay this particular amount? Wow. So Minister of Finance na ne e was all kasa. Bank of Ghana the obey any but Minister of Finance na nkase ye pese etie no.
Na say Minister of Finance na say so kasa. Den tina one kasa na mo akwesa Bank of Ghana mo na agye ministry na dwuma eye. Gospel some are working any de wo hwe kwansa ministry ni be no. Bank of Ghana anokra ya den ache ministry no. Why?
On say me can say school na nyina ekoye no. Usunya school na nyina ekosa na be ka say when inflation is increasing because over American system because they have economy owned by America no or Americans no you know when inflation is increasing what the federal reserve no be say we increase reserve rate or increase reserve rate inflation no e be down kakra right nti wo so ko school ni sa na e kire o nti Bank of Ghana dey wakotena wona so inflation e kosra how to manage it is using a monetary mechanism sa na ya kire o nti ono so who said no I don't me my blame nti ma me increase friend policy rate no MPR no but en America say we increase ya ensesa hwe and that is why you increasing MPR be brave but still government bonds are not bought
but you are selling
target you don't achieve them because I know future inflation was so if I discount myself I will not even go and buy it. The problem is that finance minister solution is saying Agya Kwabena solution no how to raise a lot of revenue and how to cut down your expenditure. Expenditure dey there utie bibra yenim. You say aban the private jet ko wiem, odware wiem. How do you cut it? Ye nhwe ho. You say Ghana aban nyuma ifo no bi public sector entities no. Ebinom gi 80,000, ebinom gi 120,000. But in terms of productivity, omunyuma ko no kra boka de maye. We need to tell them the truth. Babi ekono ye ntimi ntio 80,000 bosome. Ye ntimi ntio 120,000 bosome because ani enyan.
They say 120,000 1.2 billion.
1.2 billion. That is how, yes.
We allowance in buy.
Allowance in buy. That's how much they take.
So cover 1.5 billion.
Yes. Maybe ononko the oji ano no. Hey. But say woji say sika we na say ne ye ho kire ya. Reality is that say ye ntimi ntua. Ye nkatimra maybe 50%. Ada ye famra bia 30,000 a month. It is not bad. Because president cry only 40,000. President takes less than 40,000 a month.
That's true.
Now we see you owe 80,000. You can't credit through. You cut it down. That is true. Now you say what corruption you are how do you minimize corruption? Corruption the ain't mean you crowd. Edian kakrabi bayente so. You too so we are. Which means the expenditure if you are able to manage it, manage the waste. You be dibem ho. Agya Kwabena revenue side.
Okay.
Revenue side no. Agya enyame na mekan yo. Abefo aye nhwehwemu Ghana ha say tax evasion. Tax evasion.
Amafuntu ya to.
Yes, or more dodge to and this yes, evasion no more evade no. Evasion no da bia make say custom officers, GRA officers eka ho bi. They know them.
They know. They are even more corrupt than any.
Omo na ma evade business persons are evading taxes. Evasion inquire 10 to 12% of our GDP. Your GDP almost 500 billion. So 10% of GDP no is almost 50 billion. Imagine say evasion yet me correct and minimize evasion go to 5% at least 25 billion you bet me e dey aboa man you bet me correct ho na me no ka say ye petroleum sector we know businesses OMC sa omodi aban ka and as I can de bia me ko peke ka enye ka eye tax e wo so otua sa tax no ogifre Jacob na ho ogifre Alhaji Halidu ho ogifre senior Tofik ho ogifre senior Kutin ho and na waje say okoto fuel bi aban de taxes atoso 1 Ghana cedis 88 pesos on diesel and 1 Ghana cedis 90 pesos on petrol yes say Jennifer Koma aban OMC agi ska na tena so MPA unim OMC no GR unim OMC no na so mfa ho mfa ho like and count so push you so akodi ska no.
But you see, when it comes to, I think we have to be very fair to institutions as well. You know, when it comes to tax and GGR, in this instance, a NP ejuma.
Oh yeah.
A GR for ejuma.
Na say a GR for nation ko jina say NP no enim say.
NP and ejuma ne say oba make sure say regulations on aye ejuma.
Okay, nti e for say.
Baby aye betumi a falter NP and say we make sure say any regulation aye ejuma na enye ejuma. And so far NP has done remarkably well when it comes to these things.
No.
It has to do
but how come those OMCs are so
pretty? Tax collection.
They've closed down some of them.
Say make sure
because of the tax company. I work with one, they close it.
Any institution was say or Kojiska
one critical challenge on my you see one critical challenge on you see state institutions are not standalone institutions. So there should be coordination.
Exactly.
Right? Nti MPA, yes, maybe industry, no. I know MPA is a regulator. And then I said so budget tax. But MPA ni GRE, omo come hubuma. But be as OMC ni shebiano.
Don't get the person.
Don't get them.
Yeah.
But they are there. Omo is gonna free your whole. Omo farmer buying and buying farmer. So
the issue about NPA, I can tell you, I'm reliably informed when it comes to these things. No. I don't need this. I don't work there. I'm a lecturer at UPS.
Yeah.
I don't work there, but I am reliably informed and I know what goes on at NPA. And I can tell you, say Bano, when in enforcement, making sure say things are done and are done right. I can assure you NPA has done.
Na so omo dane no omo ye ni ye dia. I didn't see them so OMCC.
Nanka
ono anti no ane no ompushi GRE.
Ompushi GRE. So if GRE am koja on obedient. If NP or catch or say way at the OMCs, you know, I say mokoje mo tax no, and they have done everything. It is up to you, GRE, to do the follow-up, and because NP has already provided with all document, all information that you need to go and take those taxes from them.
It is so the money we na so ankwan kwaje a NP ni to me bia so beka se GRE.
The law as it stands right now, and compare NP.
So onkoye bi bisa.
Because
mewa Jacob na me pesa me expand the conversation. You see levies na yetua edema yedetua ma aban no ebi ho eko MP ho direct.
Yes.
That's true.
Fuel market margin eko MP ho direct. Friend saying UPPF eko MP ho direct. They manage it. Say sika ya make na me pesa me body because that one transportation distribution margins. Ebinum ho a OMCs ni bi di sa aka no. A MP enim.
Yeah.
MPA knows them. Until America, you see, state, say state, who says state is powerful than private person or individual. And state organizations should not be standalone organizations. They should coordinate. Among komo. Ne who say baby ekono ye problem mu a ye din komo ye na solutions never ba. But ne amenu ka say ebi wo ho a ye nye. Na me de be kasa ba wie no. Revenue mobilization say mo ye ni ko ho a e levy there say no entime moaye ma hu say aban parliament pass tax exemption bill. I was very happy because there be am say exemptions na ye ma no exemptions for what ye ma exemptions not based on productivity because we are obi wadan for Jacob na wadan for nti oh ye be see hotel bi o hotel no kra bi e be employee ni 10 na mum madam for aban mu de enkoje exemptions. Basanka hotel no yetimu say hotel e be more exemptions no oniema wo de be no aduane ni nyina no food no e say locally made.
That's true.
O building na usi no a lot of the cement bibia no e say locally wood no de be locally and sana ya more exemption because e basana it creates other jobs for other people. Na ya some benchmark say ya more exemption of even 1 million krana was say year biano one for nipa kra no and I say at any time or employees no e more money less than 1,000 and some the exemptions na more but the exemption regime no say woni mo bi wa ban mu a
near the amount
without any productivity nti mani ye pan say ya pass implementation has always been a problem in Ghana. I hope that in future no you be implementing it right so that ebe ma yenya sika bebre e de ye o man yi but say Jacob na yanya ne sa de amenia
ya bregu kwa
me
that's
just one statement to what he has said. Who say Jacob na some time ago yetena ha boss an komo we I suggested say or there ye hwehwe how political parties are also funded in this country. Because this kind of tax exemptions, any tax holidays, most of them are politically motivated. These companies have strong ties with these political parties. Now, what about where them kululun just to be exempted from paying these taxes?
And
people, yeah,
and when the party comes to power,
yes, and people make monies out of it.
Me that's it. Ima, baby, I see you koi. Me the dollar me who be crack check. Me dim see the energy, me didn't crack. But I me pay if you pay exchange rate no ten be am na ma me hwe. See the city me kan if you see the en koyi. Say the wonu no ma kan nyina no. Wogi di say ye betuma ye hu bibi sese ye kase sese no ha na nya ba wi. Aha no ifiri he. Ye kasa na dɔso because bra covid ba ye aban ahyebo say economy ni de omu ni mo kon betu ama na back na mo do so nipa na ohwe ne kwa
omu nim hazo yo me da say Jacob na and me share me colleagues any 84 mo ofia omutie in fact I think that menu Ekayeno, he just prefixed most of the things I was coming to say. And whilst I was reading on the dollar, na mi frère lecturer bi or Legon, a professor, what minya Ekayeno, the same thing I Okaye, but he had one advice, and they say, and it's so true. Once a Chrome has since the 1992 Constitution, now per the 4th Republican Constitution, we have politicized the economy. That's the major problem of Ghana, and that is what has brought us where we are. The political solidarism is just too much. We in the abansu, now we were abansu, the way you know, enye cry. And it has gone on and on and on, and now, opie any airwaves is here. Now we are say, now we are say, now we are say. I think that as a country, we've passed that stage. Problem now, how do we resolve the problem? We don't need to personalize the economy on political figures. To say, Nana say, Baumia say, John Mahama, I say. I was listening to Minya NDC and you know the policies John Mahama brought and whatever. Look, if those policies indeed had brought some reprieve, GDC will be where we are. And now, Sebi, John Mahama would have still been in power. Until let's talk the political slogans and then look at the real issues. If you look at the world today, who would have thought that United States of America inflation will go to double digits? 10 point something. And you agree with me that when big economies like that sneezes, the entire Africa catches the cold. Me dear, look, Ghana, problem about our currency is the second worst performing currency in the world. We can't run away from that fact. What can we do as citizens to rally behind and overcome this challenge? That is the question. And we should be looking at how we can profile solutions to these things. Not taking an opportunity out of that to do political slogans because you want power.
Okay.
Because
Agya, the current state we find ourselves, even if there's change of government today, the next government that will come will not be able to turn the situation around.
That's true.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's go to the primary nitty-gritties. Look, share asase anyamia dumie. Africa, in particular in Ghana, ya asase is so fertile. If you want to take agriculture at an industrial state, we can feed the whole of Africa. At a point, Ghana at a point was the second bread basket of Africa. So what has happened? When I was growing up, Mikrom Saboba, almost see swallows be any state farms.
Yeah.
Those buildings are rotten. Why can't we revamp them? And until I make about politics now, everybody wants to take credit of doing a particular thing. What we need as a country is to make our institutions function. If our institutions function without political influence, we will not find where we find ourselves. And with the city, if the Bank of Ghana was truly independent, Minjidi say will be where we are.
That's true.
It looks as if the Bank of Ghana is even handicapped because of politicization. And it's not this Bank of Ghana, previous Bank of Ghana. So time Drew say, young body your institutions and forget about the political jargons. No way I say, no way I say, no way I say.
Na ya hwe ma dwene nsisu so ebe na yatumi ehu esanse wo kan nyina no obi about the subobo ne yonko said ya wo kan say we ayi say said ya me so ma metumi defend me ho no meka say wo se me yesa na so wo se me yesa na so me send mo na me ye e na wo ba na wo be yesa enti a portion of blame no ai bibi e hoda na so ebe do ba bi no me kai pa say yet omutumi ka say okay this economy be bi aduro no ahonkyera ba enti ye nyina ye nka mom na ye hwe say bitumi atoto ye to adwene. I remember say Mampeni Mahama time na omko senche bi no
Nansia na Mahama
made
an appeal
meba ye ko senche bi no bra na crisis no wo no senche no am say NDC for nkwa na ko he
We invited some,
but they declined.
And so Omanko Nansen ya Mampeni Mahama said the Canada Mahama I say ye hwe na ka ye nyina ye nhia so man na ye fa ho adwene asa wo no beka na so nipa na amfa nso said the Wokasa case this the time I see nyina kabo mu ye wo de ade na baba no nipa na amfa nso
Agya onim after politics after elections no governance is the responsibility of every citizen.
Okay.
Until na minua we come back the nation state no Ghana ye ni nation state that is our problem. If your nation state will be patriotic to the cause of Ghana, you're patriotic to the cause of Ghana. Look at companies are okay in the extractive and oil industries. 90% are owned by foreigners. If you go behind it, there are Ghanaian shareholders behind it. So foreigner no on to me beji if there is not a conspirator. What I say. So all of this boils to greed. What about corruption? Look, this country, if we can plug in the leakages, in terms of corruption alone, will not be where we are. If we can eschew greediness, will not be where we are. If we can make our systems work, will not be where we are. And we seriously need a national development authority. And look, that authority should be clothed with the power that it will have the independence to foresee our national development policies. Look, a friend is saying, we the youth of this country, I think time is due. Say we should take our destiny into our own hands and force people in government to do the right things. It is our future. There be a mikasa some way. Look at our political leaders. Many of them are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. Busi and Mubos is here. When are they coming to pay it? It's me and you and our children. But you know what is so intriguing? Yeah, you to know. We sit on TV, radio, and defend the indefensible. Yeah, they're defending these politicians because of kakra hebenyedi. Obehun say we are there enye because you belong to that party. Now wako tena TV so attempt dey crowd be didi obi a ofata so obeyo o papa. Then we keep quiet over these things. And the political parties are happy. Oh boy, we do ya there on him kasapa no mama na appointment.
Who can be about patriotism? Patriotism doesn't start from Kwada, it started from leadership.
Yes.
Yebisa say empanifo adi animu no. Are they patriotic enough ebeye bibia enso ebesusu de bia enso betumi gina so aka say if I see this leader me hu pani we a akware mbabra papa je bae na kokko hu nsam ayeye no. He went to okwo grounds. Okotu keteke kwan okra shovel and pickers and otubi. It no ono ya wonye obeye. Enti our your leaders are they patriotic enough one we ye maybe me so o man hu do ewo mu. Enti bi so ese bi di achiri na bi do man hu do wura bi mu.
You see, they say catch them young and they shall be yours forever. Patriotism are taught at the elementary stage and you grow with it. Amanoni, that's what they do. A bed didn't so be an American pointing a left finger at the country. But Krumha, you can sell your own country for small freebies.
That's true.
So our leaders, as to whether they are patriotic or they are not patriotic, every year they follow us. It's our actions and inactions that makes them treat us the way they treat us. That is a fact, Agya Kwabena. And your leaders know. Sebi, more often than not, when they win power, they are thinking about the next elections. And that's the sad and pathetic aspect of it. Look at the world today. A serious global challenges we are going to face in the next year at the Asam Kitwa. What is happening around the world? Drought, floods, and the way farmlands are being destroyed. Ukon of Sisia, somewhere, some places they are now planting, which it has never happened. So it means that things are even going to get worse. So we have to come together as a country. This is the time. And I want to call on the President of the Republic to be magnanimous enough to reach out to the opposition, to reach out to other stakeholders, at least call them into a consensus. For Munko Seji, Asamaba, on my problem, what I say, how do we resolve it? Give them the listening ear. Sometimes it's our so pride. People back say, I have failed. But that is not the case. Yeah, Amanoni, how it is done. Look, a very responsible and constructive opposition leads to good governance. If you don't have a strong opposition, the governance system will not work. Will not work. So me, I'm so proud of the NDC and what you are doing. You are just giving the Ghanaian people what they deserve so that government can be on its toes to work. But Assam Naba, let's stop the politicization and see how, as a country, we can come
move
together
forward.
And move forward.
Honorable His Excellency Sam PL say our questions to be Ebisa Kakra. Now, or say one, if the major investor in Ghana's economy is Templeton, and Templeton is a business partner of the Ghana's finance minister, what happens when Templeton retrieves his investment? Two, if the finance minister is the majority shareholder of Data Bank, and Data Bank is
not true.
Shareholder of Data Bank, and Data Bank is a collateral beneficiary of loans contracted by the government of Ghana, what happens? Three, so now we have an airport for private jets, not under the civil aviation. So the question is, who is monitoring what these aircrafts are sending out of the country to tax havens? Four, we had State Insurance Corporation to mobilize insurance fund for the state. Now, the enterprise insurance is receiving all such insurance funds. How can the economy be stable? Or see, if it is the duty of all Ghanaians to manage the economy, why do we elect government? Nti ono so ne questions bi a odi aba and mo say pija nsa
me say
no, even before you come, my brother, let's try to me this information. Say look, the state of our debt to GDP, most of our debts, though these monies were borrowed from private entities. So in an event that crisis will declare this country, say, hey, pick, and move from the middle income status to a developed country to get debt relief.
Because I say
because it's private and individual.
Between state and state.
And those people,
an individual.
Even if you die, you are in your grave, they'll come and dig your grave and take their money.
Okay, but
me brother Kutin aka sa assembly say policies amabo say NDC Jomama implement anka eboa den na yetu abanu tiano na sabiu anka yendru bibia yedru he no uko your constitution under the directives principles of state policy your clause aka say policies of government ube inheriting the aye papa no utuasu ube tuasu.
Okay,
now policy implementation in respect of effort to reduce the importation of rice. Now John Mahama Eddie, because you say you pay amanoni rice, local no. Enti now dreamu any na buy no. E decide say young share the amanoni rice breed young farmer farmers Now this is a policy program. Why buying food for buy no one twaso. Once a one twaso no, you cannot have the effect of it. I bet me as what problems are or person also. Because allergy no it's to me planting of food and jobs.
What I said, yes. It was just a foundation.
No,
for me to build a point that
no, there is
I may drew. Yes,
let me justify why I'm coming. Let me just.
There's no need to.
No, I needed to explain because the way I who create impression as if say me perceive me high tea because the point is that say process Uber now Uber inherit economy. Now bibi papa wo ho a Ube twaso. Now one twaso the effect of that the Ghanaian people will not feel it because one twaso ogu tranketi. Now mind you, Jomama within 4 years. Mind you, Mama operated the economy. Mama operated this economy for 4 years, even though admittedly now we are vice president under Professor Mills.
For 8 years.
For 8. No, for 4 years.
And became president.
For 4 years. I think 3 years
now,
and a half.
One key thing, what and you agree with me that the driving force of this economy is energy.
At the moment.
It's one of the driving forces.
One of the driving forces.
Yes, set of.
But say economy no, say energy anymore. Production untumi ye. And so I am saying my point in say. The reason why I mention all these policies is to tell you, say, Anka MPP, Omo Ba Baimunu, Omo Tuasu, sa policies no, will not be where we are. Okay. Because at least there's evidence.
That's well on that. I am for that topic.
So, to be fair to me,
I think
to be fair to me, he was talking about something I have said.
Yes.
And I think it's good I clarify.
Exactly.
You see, if you listen to me critically, I was building a foundation for us to stop the political equalization.
No, it is not equalization. Policies, no.
Politicians are part of our problem.
And the need for us, to have a national development policy.
I agree
so
with
that
you.
Any political
but I was
party
doing
that
it,
come,
and you
those
came
things
to
go.
tell the people that you are not doing it right.
But you see,
and so I needed to let people know they are me here. What would the subuwa bomb?
But you are also
who can't
equally
say
guilty for the same
Okay.
clarification.
And so if I don't do
This
that,
is a problem of Ghana.
this is a problem. I agree with you with the national development plan.
Chasmafo say watching live from inside Eno address for Eno address for Jufi ewo Afia Mountains here that's it. And I will also say David Dazi or say Akufo-Addo has succeeded in destroying Ghana. He has failed. First thought St. Gali say Agya, selfishness is in the hands of our leaders is what need to be worked on. When they start working with selfishness and being humane as we are created, all this will stop and we all shall be happy. Farouk Tanwi or say Agya, good morning. Please, somebody who has his business company long time importing his goods before you become a president, then you go and tell the person to bring the raw goods and assemble in Ghana means you create okay. Now so prices will be all imported in Yamada. Now some coffee and message or ha. Now so a factory. And we say good morning. Also, most of the institutions who are supposed to implement government policies are not really working well. And that is the ministries, departments, and agencies, MMDAs, who are supposed to implement government policies on the local level are also not being paid well. Very low salaries are paid to them, whilst state-owned enterprises enjoy bigger salaries, causing the state more debt. Can you imagine COLA, that's our workers assembly, which was started recently by teachers, has still not been paid. Meanwhile, GRE staffs who didn't Atiko ya WhatsApp na Atiko ebesan aba mo mani samra man bio am say WhatsApp na Atiko mani samra man bio na ye ni nkomo fa ha me say asan aba be that say be wana Atiko kra okay we dey ebre nti me pese ye kase e be ko economy no a ye nkwa ada topic na discuss no they are also equally important said here hwe enti ye hwe we na yenka no so asam kakra na yensan emra okay yenhwe ye beba tech nsam no so san say eno current issue a apija no ho pa na fi yakọ galamsey so de si ye no ma be hye senfiri so yima esi wo legon
Yeah.
Omo sheka ne full set to atwa esi wo tech wo ma sell cars bebre nipa bi eprepra esi wo tech ye hunu se obi aye petrol bomb student auto petrol bomb e de tie onu ni yonku student question be say on say security wise no e de na kire ye omu nyina ye mabunu ana two security apparatus na wo university wo no entimi angada intelligence bia say nkrofo ho wiki om so mabe e betim de ho bia ba
Yo, Agya, me that's it. In fact, how bebre o share universities in general. That is the transition point from adolescent to adulthood. And to say before, obe USC's form, and son obe drew university now we your papa penny to begin with. So say obe drew 18, 19, 20, 22 no, now we university because of the educational system here they are by home. But there are three sets of things. Our family value system is under threat. our societal value system is also under threat. And the national state responsibility to this institution. And when I talk about the nation state, me care about the security institutions that are mandated to keep me and you safe. Until I care about intelligence, I think intelligence is not up because as you were Legon, and if you know the university's whole culture, almost fraternity wars. We say Legon will be KNUSC. Where we are no way about. Where we are no way about. So the ebesi wahano. There's a likely possibility to say the other hall too may want to repeat that thing. They feel that it makes them brave or they are superior over the other halls. And all these things happen because of these halls fighting over supremacy. I want to say even the alumni of Commonwealth, the Vandals, they pride themselves with certain things. But all this, there's something we are not putting our eye, Agya. Occultism is so rife in our universities. And also some of the cultural performance omuya enyekwa ade na oba be free no ye very clean okosa ho na omu something like initiation omu initiation omu ye initiation you omu initiate you afi na why a different person altogether name emphasize so be no uye. And the sad thing is this, these are the future leaders of this country. So, look at our current leaders. All the time, no. Not sad never will see to the scale. Sebi, if you look at the history, but not to the extent of attacking other halls. It was a form of show off, what I say. So, if we have this crop of leaders and we are facing some of this thing, and these are the kind of leaders we are churning out to lead us tomorrow. It's a big problem. And you see,
Yes, sir.
make a family value system. When we were growing up, most of us were at the mess of mission schools and Islamic schools.
Yes.
The Catholic schools, the Presbyterian schools, the Methodist schools, and Tia Ahmadiyya, all these kind of Islamic schools. Omo modi a year. And some obedru hokrano, you have certain values. And in Biasisia, government have taken all those schools from these mission schools. And as a result of that, the discipline that was there in these institutions, any hobby. And the threat to our security, as a result of the family value system, is the one-man churches. You know what has done to the family now? The families no longer believe in hard work. They believe in miracles because they preach prosperity and then miracles kind of preaching. They select and pick the scriptures just for their own gains. So, Sisiano, sorry. Pastor Yari almost say into collection, and yes, sir. But let a church member have a problem, almost say bonfire. What an irony! And look at Cromha, the one-man churches, the destruction it has done to families. Okaya, some families, will go there. Pastor Nobel, dad and son from Bra, no bonfire, no master sound good, no. And it has brought a lot of untold hardships to many families who have these family treasures. And you have to talk about the spirituality and the effect it has on the family. So if the family systems are broken, these are the kind of children you groom and churn out into the universities. Let's come to our societal level. Now, Kromha is only in Africa, or if you like in Ghana, that when you do the wrong things, you are hailed as a hero. If you do the right things, you are seen as a very weird human being. People do things and get away with it as if the laws are meant for certain people and not meant for others. So as a result of that, people are not aspiring. You need role models people can aspire to. What I say? Everything goes. And can politics worse. So these youth, they are in a dilemma. They don't know where to go. So in the state of confusion, peer group pressure back. No omudi unkosa. And the national state, the nation state, our security apparatus that are mandated to keep me and you safer. Because of time, I'm trying to so that my other colleagues can have the opportunity to have a bite. So you see, we are not in normal times. I've always said this thing that terrorism is with us. And you know that terrorists, they recruit from the universities. We have evidence of saying 2 Ghanaians, a university student, any even the Beatles, one quote in the UK, or converting to Islam, So if our universities can turn this violent, and you know what it portrays to the terrorists, it gives them the opportunity to gauge the readiness of our security apparatus. Because if common intelligence-led things like this that can forestall the destruction of state properties, na abasa for a bar, no omube launching attacks, even on our campuses, what can we do? And more often than not, we react. We don't preempt. And the key word is to preempt. In security, we want to minimize the damage as much as possible. But terrorists, they want to maximize the damage. So that's why it's so worrying. So I think it's about time, say, the nation state, omunya police posts in our universities to patrol the universities and pick intelligence of some of these happenings. Ushe Amanonia, especially in the US, in the wake of terrorism, most of the schools has security posts. Muka Nansea, the gunman that went and killed the students. Some few months ago. US. The blame was put on the police. The police person.
They didn't react.
Yes.
One reaction to them.
While losing Ejuma, he's for interdiction. So I think a time has come for us to look at those things. And I've seen a subculture in this country. Betting in this country. Betting is keeping our youth at bay. And yes, and Kabasa basic room ha enya de kitwa. My organization here research kitwa, and it has emboldened us to do more research on it, and we'll publish it soon. The people who do betting in this country, you have no idea. The youth in Kankan. And the women even do it more.
Wow. And
that is what is sustaining the youth. Because Ejuma in Niho. Because any betting now, and demonstration upon demonstration, basic chrome her. Because they say the devil finds hands in another hand. Because politicians know you group will be mobilizing name and call you. The person is hungry already. What do you think will happen? But we are not looking at the long-term effect of betting. Any country that allow gambling as a means of survival, it is taking the human resource of the country away. And the long-term implications, is so dire, especially security. If you are supposed to be learning, other trade, now you can sit by your computer, say, and place on 2 bets. Now we need 100 cedis and now 200 cedis. It will not encourage you to work.
So what do you suggest?
The suggestion is that the gaming industry in this country has to be regulated.
That's true.
It is an industry that is unregulated. anybody with an access to the phone can do any form of thing. Even Sisi Accra lotto numbers, they are forecasters.
They call you.
They call you, yes. And just imagine if this country was a country that you are busy, I'm busy, you are busy. Who have time to sit down to put 10 CDs or 20 CDs to get 100 CDs? Most of the times, we have stories of people who have even used their school fees to do it and they've not even won. Offering. Obikra nejuma sika odiaya ambaye. Into the issue of US, you know, it's a serious national security concern. And our leaders must be concerned with it, especially that a student can mobilize materials to do a petrol bomb to throw at his fellow students. Me who that in me who dreaming. Agya.
Ono kwa nka oshio.
Ono kwa say we hwe gu na chi.
So just imagine somebody like this happen to find a way to parliament or happen to find a way to a political position, because Chrome Hano, we don't reward hard work. We reward people who can sit on TV and radio and insult their fathers in the name of political expediency. What do you think will happen? And look, what our leaders are doing, the youth are watching, because on habits, intrinsically you inhibit it unknowingly. Mukai, the disgusting thing that happened in Parliament. Members of Parliament throwing blows at each other, but nothing has come out of that report. Nothing.
And you expect to punish.
You expect to punish these students, because I've heard so many people calling that these people should serve jail terms. But would that resolve the problem? Look, our criminal jurisprudence is reformative in nature, not to punish. For all you know, there is a problem we are not addressing.
A video no na you know what I show. Na at that particular time no kra nti a me yam hihye me kakran say that police ka gina ho. We shall say na police police can is gina ho no. And with all that no kra na bibia mo obu hu say no. Law enforcement agents were ho. Nti na say me very careful. Just say police no kra do man hwe kra.
You see,
just say the omo ye na and omo ye. Eno ho na me dey baby sa question. Say police car no.
It's even running away.
I want na me say bisa say. One say enka no say police ni ba ofie na oyam hwehwe. Usuro.
Ohun police or kwan
so kra na uyam hyew. Wo hwe the way a omo ye ade with impunity say on for police nya hwe. Omo for BBC a na so jani na ba mu ansa. Baby adidi ko no. Eden mindset ben and the nipa ye nya ni tituru mabunu no enya about security agencies.
No, I was coming to you know why? If you look at this very video, the police came unprepared.
That's true.
They didn't come with riot equipment like water cannons in Nema. So at that point in the crowd, you have to restrict, and that's the best thing the police did in this instance. Okay. But there's one thing that is recurring. A police, when they say if you play with a child or lick you there, and a police will have not conducted themselves in the past world to end that fear. Can it empty to you for? How can you stop a driver? Not walk or driver in a car. What are you sitting in the driver's car for? And I want to place it on record today. Because you sat in the person's car, it has created the avenue for you to extort money from the person, and that is corruption. But what does the law say? My car is not insured. For you, the policeman, to sit in my car for me to drive you to the station. The best practice, they say, if I've committed a crime, you arrest me on the scene and tow the car away. You are not even allowed to drive that car. Go to your post. Usha police, who is supposed to be a duty post on crime to check criminals, who could do post chairman it's weekend anything for your boy. So how do you expect people to respect you?
When I say anything for your boys, okay, and yeah, cap security police as me, and I'm imagine a baby so. Say you police phobia or why you don't see them as policemen. They ride on these normal motorbikes, yeah. So they use ukadokadebia. Na ebia earrings na so na chia kese gunukumu odruwa na onono so ye police ni oba becho. So how do you differentiate between how do you differentiate between a real policeman and a ubia ono so aye no sa na BBC na say
my education na we mbra the incident you have created is very true. They are the intelligence-led people to pick intelligence among the people. But they are not supposed to do arrest.
I didn't make it. They are also who say obi eti kemu, ewo traffic mu, na oye call until or arrest you nipa.
No. That's not.
That is what happened. I think about 3-4 days ago.
It doesn't have that because you have to identify yourself.
Yes,
with an idea and things.
How do I no so we are going no so you ID channel say why did you crime me very sure say authentic say we are police in so ampa. The kind of people that we recruit to our security agencies
to talk about.
And also then they say the fan. Say say ya obafu so ye bia na so no nye bi.
Eja who say you're training and mode of recruitment of security officers in this country. Yeah, is the same thing, nothing has changed. So here the rate at which politicians interfere with recruitment into the police service. I'm not a security expert, but I'm happy to sit in the midst of people like Kuten, who is a security expert and will be able to educate us more on some of these things. We've had instances in this country our police officers have been part of armed robbery. Armed robbery led into killing of fellow police officers. And later found out the circumstance and ipakrono eba into the police service. I think as a country, we need to have a holistic discussion on some of these things. Recruitment system into the police service and the need for politicians to stay out of recruitment. And you see, Agya, what is even more worrying about the recruitment in SA? Sometimes issues of ethnicity even influence recruitment to the extent that security service and our police and our military operation will be. We have instances where these information about these operations are leaked
before
before police follow. And how then do you even use Lemfa and say 6 months? Our Kasa trainee will be to become a police officer. He's going to be in the service for more than 20 years. Even how to handle weapons, crowd control, all of these things must be trained. People need to be trained in, but they don't know. Also, University of Ghana, somewhere the police, also police university, Legon police station, is just opposite the university gate.
Yeah.
So is it the case? Say, even if they were not prepared, I mean, they were just caught. I mean, how long will it take the police officers, from Legon police station to enter into the main gate? Because baby incidents in AC, it appears to say it's just at the university main entrance gate, vandals for Mufiha, Sabaho for Umufiha. How long will it take for University of Ghana police? Is it the case said they don't have, the equipment for crowd control and wasn't it possible, say police for at that time to even effect some arrests, especially some young guy now or petrol bomb now, that guy should have been arrested.
sometimes some kind of security, you know, at the midst of violence in the chaos, no. We are what you say, coach, she'll be so man
we have seen it. I have seen it on TV, on CNN. Time at Hong Kong, omo demonstration for democracy. See how the police for now omo acting. People, students were arrested. And there were police van. When they arrest you, they just take you into the police van. And that's how Hong Kong did, you know, to manage such situation. All of it in America has to do with training and mode of recruitment. And the over-politicization of these issues. And also refer to what Kutin, you know, said, has to do with Yankasa and social system. How are we training these kids before they come to the university? You see, I'm a lecturer. And there are certain things you just cannot say them in public. The way our morality is falling amongst our youth is frightening. You can be at lecture, and students, some of them, most of them like most of them they like sitting at the back. And sometimes you walk through, and you who say student or yes, I better now. Whilst lecture is ongoing, and a student share soccer match. In class, early morning, 7:30 lecture. And as student, there are instances that I've even seen students watching porn.
Blue film.
Blue film in class.
Then porn.
Pornographic. I mean, in class lecture. And you see, the system is so bad that one lecture, you are also handicapped. At that moment, then I'll bet you there's no rule. My friend says, me find a student who confiscating the phone. Who can say what they coin? There's no law. Say at the end of the day, what you are probably what you call department.
And he's an adult too.
And the person is an adult. We share almost dress code. Almost the back campus. Yesterday I was at Legon. I saw a student boy. Adia is best to be described as boxer shorts.
No colleges.
Oh, call lecture. Oh, if you lecture neighbor, lecture doesn't have anything to say. But I'm very happy. Say, University of Professional Studies is redefining university education in this. I have to be very frank with you. At the University of Professional Studies, we are very much particular at the kind of dresses our students omobeshe. And the university has empowered lectures. Say if a student is not well dressed, you can ask the student out.
There is this video called viral. I was social media say, graduate TV, Abranti B, US, or graduate here, or more born in or I think he's a Nigerian, US and a similar here. Instead of on Nanti, or Samas or Cyan or Samas or Buauya Krubi. I want to do or present here in the case you should go back. So call back no walk by and so now or the emano. I want no discipline be a credit or so. It's one who should make only and Musunafi.
So you see, as a country, gradually, yen culture, as Africans, as Ghanaians, the things that makes us Ghanaians and Africans, that what you know. And I kofa abrofo ways of life ni nyoma ya impose on ourselves. Ne kids yen nkola no omo yewe hwe asama esi oas nkola ya omo koye amrobry oas. So here report na aba no. One of the students had they've had many issues. Ne father eba school more. Now assistant headmaster Kasano. The father had the guts to even fight the assistant headmaster. Or assistant headmaster Tani. And Chebian assassin we see. You see, Yabano ways of curbing some of these. I don't believe in capital punishment at that level. I believe in reformative, punishment. Because at the end of the day, so Osaki school Akwalano Efi school you have thrown the problem into the society. You have not solved the problem. So, sir, Akwalanu being in a very hardened criminal and so no obe affected or money now. So there must be a policy, some disciplinary policy, or psychology, any counseling, integral part of your school system, no?
To assist the students.
Yes, to assist some of these students. And also we need to check some of their almost social activities now. It's not wrong for Conti, Katanga, Kesley Hereford, and ATL Hall. I mean, it is not bad for us to have that kind of rivalry. I mean, healthy rivalry. Such healthy rivalry, a bit since it's an academic institution, we can channel it into academics. Maybe debates. You understand? Just to check which of the halls, are more intelligent, not more violent than the other. Whole week, hall tutors or hall administration must be able to check the itinerary. Whole week now, then
Nti baby I saw me advice man no. Baby I see taking measures, we need taking measures.
So processional. The laws of the country that guides such processions and demonstrations must apply that at the university. So that university gives them guidelines. Ahana say mofa. And you don't leave them like that. The university security apparatus should also be trained and equipped in handling some of these things. Okay. So university can say fawea, untumi can say wo fa.
Okay. Ntembra ni adwuma ho medase papa medase obi the message be ba ye kan no say when it comes to recruitment into the police service, it's about your pocket. Agya Kwabena, let me tell you something. I worked with them for 4 solid years as one of their best doctors, but because I didn't pay, my name was omitted from the list. Wow. The whole hospital was shocked. I've now retired prematurely. Wow. And I'm now an entrepreneur with a peace of mind. No. Alaji, dear course, me call Saito, me call like primary school, me call Chibi Tomasi, me call Anglican, and I'm called Presby, and I'm called Presby Medal, and Sunday and name will be the baby away. Near book to a friend courtesy for boys and girls. Okay. Wow. Yeah. That was some kind of discipline. I didn't know how yet. Yeah. A woman said, wouldn't do baby, yes, are you full exuberance and overhaul do has no kind of initiation? Now, so for the so show say, we say, I remember those some time back, technical school near you could say, now, no matter technical for ne could take a phone to quite giddy. Now, a woman you shoot T square, and I want to have the corner in my name. We are sned baby. I must say, no, dear Coso Americano, yet to be for a phone, prepare, we will dear Coso in and a year copy. As for mine, your value, your culture. Baby, I dear Lake Cancono, a year call abro dear Huaman on Enoso. For me, son of no. Would you send your bed day? Because they see what they're going, and Chebia and attack. Misso, Sabia UCC so, we sabot to me as you na didi musa na musa na fe kosa e dey say 1-2 years e dey say na e bia nkwa kusi e wa other universities
Jacob,
yes sir
we enya adi fufuro me wo University of Cape Coast 2001 na ye boy nkomo e fa omo ba university no e free mu dia omo ye but omo ye fortunate because now social media, Android phone, and too common as it used now. So yeah, anka at that time social media anka ebia yebetimi and those individuals they served this country well, and I know some of them. I mean, omoli the ATL Atlantic Hall University of Cape Coast. But you see, I have a fundamental problem with the way Omo engage like in violence. The question I ask myself and say, Anibia adusuyanu yesuya. Because uko school, there are certain basic things school no be kyerɛw ana adesua no be kyerɛw na wankasa umfa ho enhwem. One, you see, education teaches you values. After teaching you values, it builds your confidence. After that, it will also build your character. Now, how come, say, Wako school, every basic school, up to the university, where I will say that is the peak, probably of your adulthood as a quitting car, you know, that you will decide to engage in that. What it simply means is that from the basic, you know, yantimi entity omuye, impacting the values that education is supposed to give to us.
That's true.
And good in akabibia sabi, I think fundamentally we need to look at it critically. Or see yantiminya police post ewo campuses, you know. But you see, say ABA as a result of difficulty or challenges of finance, yantimi establish here. We have students who are policemen, policewomen, BNI, soldiers on campus who are students. Couldn't it be helpful for authorities of the university to liaise with these people?
No, we use them as
now you used
informants.
to pick information. Say danger be ABP that those students at least with that. In fact, me one University of Cape Coast now me Madam Fobi. Now me name say or BNI.
Wow.
We completed now house to house with Professor Mills. Then I saw her in the midst of your house. I keep asking her every day. You go Abuso area now Okahon. So one day I asked her. In fact, she confided in me. Okachem say or BNI or Juma or BNI. So she was sent.
Proper ones don't disclose their identity.
Yes, but because of the relationship, and then she knew me on campus, and so she disclosed. The point I'm making is say the university management could liaise with these supposed students. I mean, we can tap from their expertise on campus to avoid some of this. Mekai 2021 Miura University of Cape Coast during your matriculation. Your vice chancellor, Professor Adobin, or Kasano, or Kachre, see. Don't just pass through the university. Let the university pass through you. The question I asked them was, how would the university pass through me?
Take part in the activities.
It means that take part in whatever activity air course to our university. No. But must you engage in violence?
Violence, yeah. No.
Real education will teach you to know what is right and what is wrong. And knows your duty. As a university student, to engage in violence, it simply means that you don't even appreciate what you are doing on campus. And I think the Conti and then Katanga issue, and me bawo oba, me friend ebisano, osi o no na o ni them, so anukura wanti. And sometimes when you hear certain things and you have a family member around, it becomes difficult. I agree with Kuti. Every hall in any university has an affiliation in other university. So sometimes ATL or celebration. Now more tunsa afraid affiliated hall in different. In fact, in the case of Lego, the Commonwealth Hall for no say omo kontifo omo share atade omo t-shirt, you know, eka Saba Hall for no, and they think that Conti are rival hall to them, and so that even provokes them more.
So they also go there.
They also exactly, and so for me, I think that the management must sit up.
Okay.
And I think there are learned people with the expertise to help to protect some of this. Me, so honestly speaking, me who say wako school na ukuntakwa. Sometimes I see you in the different eyes because education is supposed to make you sober. Use your intellect to actually argue something. Say who fighting for supremacy. Let it reflect
in your
at the end of the you can say at the end of the your exams and now at the end of or you can say who we are university now the halls to demonstrate the number of people with the first class demonstrate that superiority in that context. But let me say this. Let me say this. You see, Nipa or petrol bomb no. In a well-developed country, we value expertise. By now, if it is United States of America,
no, it's criminal.
It's criminal. He would have been arrested and punished. But at least his expertise will be 10 for the benefit of society.
Okay.
No.
But again, within the societal setup, we are failing as parents. And I think that this globalization, social media, they account. Today, I'm sure maybe you are from the north. I'm also from the north. In the past, say, Upapa Nifi, now we are Bibi Bonia. The other neighbor can discipline you.
Papa no
Oba now wa catch him. Now Onunkwa be free. Papa be call Dana say, oh, they are why and so there is that kind of bond.
Yeah.
And so I become afraid to misbehave in front of my son or daughter becomes afraid to behave in front of Kuti because she will be disciplined and I will come and thank him for that discipline. And then in our basic schools,
even at the university,
and then in our basic schools, and I will want to take this opportunity to appeal to government. Our country, that patriotism we expect from individuals from our citizens of our country. Any Niama ACC no, Misiro. They have come with they've actually introduced a certain law or an instruction and regulations. It was senior high school, sir, preventing teachers to discipline or punish students. Today, when you go into those secondary schools, teachers complain quietly. Me, now me ba or work in university now or account fansma. Me call because sometimes me tina TV now parents teachers be they come closer and complain to you. They are fear. You see, you can't use suppression. You don't to suppress Nipa. Who suppress the extent of pain. Say ba ebe explode exactly. And so that regulation, I think that it is not good enough. And taking the duty and responsibility of teachers, headmasters from them in controlling and sanitizing schools, please. We beg you. Even that, those of us who pass through, we have challenges. Not talk of those who are not even getting it at all.
Ben, my boss now, me person you free baby, a bit baby. What can I say? I think Eastern region have baby, and you know side what baby. Students be called bo head teacher kuno.
Yeah, quite right.
GHS4. Some because I think GHS or SHS4. A bo head teacher. E kuno. Okay. And wo Obeka say they see ye wo or was in kwada yi. Na obako ye debonizing no, also still no. No other boarding. Could do nyina. So okay kasa nyama nyina abomu. Now share said there I say teacher this suru say teacher for suru kwala no school for no. Because na ko be say teacher ni no yes na dwene say obey push bibi kakra bi a hey parents be ko say parents dey kwa na say we punish student I say wo twere I dey call district directorate say akoda no or ye say nti mpese me so me ye ni say nti say district director no ehwe na so ye yiwi a anso no so ye nti be du time e bia baba say punish no na be na otwe mienu me say twa Bible aka say ejimisem e bata kwada koma ho na nti enso aba e be ye firi ye nkase ye mo nkwala na impiripra wo mo basa punishment ye firi won ketenkete no eno so nkan bi na me ka say wo hwe bebi ankwala ketenkete tumu wo teacher abu no kunu ene bebi edidi kwa ni petrol bomb ya be ya what do we supposed to do as a country educational sector no say isanse se kwara no so dodo no aso na ko school na se sane me wo ho a how is our future
A future, that be a future. Yes, I think the World Bank has brought, I think last 2019 or published a report on human capital index.
Yeah.
And of course, in the next 18 years, yeah, productivity may lose by 56%, which means
Ghana.
yes, Ghana, because it just human resource in the next 80 years, a bit depleted by 56%.
Let's say, who is young man so far, so be in
the next 18 years. That's what the World Bank has stated. And it's something I was saying in a home. Now, I like you can't say I'm coming crab. My sword in Kakrama. Be a phone and Timasi. Dinamo for be a friend man person or the make school and Semenko. Now, Kabila, name Kabila be a friend of Atakofi. Okay, me Kwana. You drew me, Susan call me, and a man say, or say, Uncle School. Or say, Massa Sino. As a Atakofi, me free. Now, above one, the make school.
That's true.
From that day, my absentee that. You see, so, and I'm telling you because we have a social setting, and that social structure has formed our psychology in terms of how we want to understand things. Agya Kwabena, your problem in Ghana is because we have over-liberalized our educational policy. The whole educational system, you are over-liberalizing. We want to be like the Westerners. We cannot be like them. Right? Yes, we cannot be like them. Neaminoka say Saudi Arabia has not liberalized its educational system entirely, but they are developing. It is not being too punitive and everybody want develop. But also social structure, sociology, say you uncroft for dream, say no person muso bimuno na odi atumpon. Yeah, no. A West nekasi nyesiya na yasesa. Most of these things were changed in 2000s. President Kofoba
1998, 1992.
Apart from the constitution, but most of them because me go school just yes me pan, but President Kofoba no. And I must start saying, oh, let's liberalize man share cry. Yeah. Man share cry, man you say, but yeah no sad yet.
The caning some of us receive.
Well, yeah no sad yet. Say Yeshua and Mautene.
Yeah.
Sana ye social system. Tie fie mu kra no. O papa so di bone na o di nani hwe. Because of what you pay into no. On hwe o. But nani hwe kra bo ani.
No kra
ebokoko. E na ye di Western education. Abrofo no ye hwe omo nso omu nimade ye hwe omo. Sese yes ye hwe biom. But World Bank is saying that yes ye hwe no kra ntino. It may not be one of the it may be one of the factors. But yes ye hwe kra no in the next 80 years no. Our productivity is going to deplete.
Yeah.
Just about 58%. That's just a new crowd.
56.
That's
what they are saying. So, I was saying, yes, I'm sure educational policy need view. Until many out of fake money say police in the I think the university system is also failing us. The university system has psychologists. The university system has sociologists.
Yeah.
And this thing is not a new thing. It has been occurring. Into omo sociologist no psychologist no adisua ben steady ben no ma ye hu nkrai yi die nti omo ye sa anema yi me am in the university system no ye kan ya yamfa ba ko anka ho tramadol abuse abaye rampant there alcohol abuse abaye rampant smoking na no say me ko University of Ghana hall bia me modi me hu say nkra atimanya vim e smoke
we are not cigarettes.
We. They were smoking.
Yeah.
On campus.
Clubbing and
those days only why say ube smoke on campus.
And we a lawyer, almost high star lawyer, no munti.
But we could have school no SHS4. They say a man or no mus abaya a tree na omo try na social media school near or say school uniform. And mema more SHS 1 2 3 now omo baby no mo sheba kokwa do shia ugina
so as psychologists at most school no you have to do some of these studies because and a sociologist no you do them and correct them once and for all. You see many out of fake baby and Nyadri say he doesn't believe in capital punishment, but see capital punishment why it aligns social thought e ma mudim raso o sacrifice ba ko a next time ba ko koya osuro. For example, take the ekosi. Me, I'm not against it. Obi, because say, oh, the culture we copy so dressing regalia, being in my neighbor be. Me, I know the wasem, but it should not be. It should not involve yourself in violence. And you can say, would you to trust something in your neighbor be? Ndi se obi ba ko dia tutu asema law no nche no enkotum. And we should stop defining crime based on personality. The akwana to bomb no crime nka na we say echi kotum. Prosecution our face. University of Ghana obi akobo obi glass ne driving mirror. Also a student into ye nyai no.
But you see, let's put it in another perspective too. So we have a report here, University of Ghana, any tech management, Omodiaba. So we have University of Ghana in particular. All the distractions now, the university management has resolved. Say, what do you call it? Commonwealth vandals are going to bear all the cost. And part of omo measures are omo ayene say omo are recuse omo a step down what do you call
the
it? Hall master no.
But that is not fair.
Any hall tutor. No, I'm coming. There are a lot of things.
That's another angle of debate. Actually, exactly. I didn't agree with that.
Yes, and it's not fair.
He has no participation.
no nyina na akabu yabo mo ka say bibia say ye bia no omutua but there are some students are no bo ho a omo get part it's dating na obi akwa ni bibia ye hu so semesi na kwa na me betua ho ka
no they did on behalf of the rest
that's the danger so that's how one something of that nature is happening
something is being done about it and they are still investigating the matter. So what it means in say when they identify Sa and Colin, especially boy in our old true petrol bomb, there's no way the university can tell us say omun to me and find this boy because me and we can easily identify that guy.
Oh, no, but
so those
they
people
have
will be
indicated. Ken USD have
people,
indicated that they have identified them.
So
no,
those people will certainly be singled out and the right punishment given to them.
Okay.
Now, sir, hall masters, hall tutor now, yama almost step it down. I think you to me the university faulted in that because
that one
because it was a university.
We've been students before, and sincerely, if you look at how the whole system,
the thing is that every
the lecturer doesn't live in
the hall. You don't need to live in the hall. You see, every leader has certain responsibilities that he or she has to fulfill. We don't know the kind of agreement here. Almost signed here before they were offered that position.
No, but stop there. Wait, you are a lecturer, right?
Yes, of course.
So does it mean that if you're a student you are teaching in your class goes to commit a crime whilst you are teaching them because you are the lecturer, you should be held responsible?
You are oversimplifying the.
No, it's not about simplicity.
I'm going to explain to you. If I'm a lecturer and I'm at lectures teaching, I have full control and full responsibility of my class. Part of my responsibilities is to ensure discipline in class and to also control the class. So at that particular moment, anything that goes wrong, the university management.
In the extreme case,
the possession by the first year is going to matriculation.
No.
What is the role of the house master?
The lecturer doesn't live in the hall.
You see,
so what control does he have?
You see, the lecturer,
we've all been students before.
The hall master and the hall tutor is responsible for the security of the halls.
I disagree. Look, I was a student.
No, we have head of security of the hall. We have head of security.
You see, every hall has its own. I was a student leader.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a student leader. The way we plan and execute our things. We hijack the man.
We need to resolve it once and for all. One is that when some of these things happen at the universities, it becomes a national issue, not a university issue. And I say limiting community to University of Ghana was so easy. Nkane or say please. So be a kobo krono no. Sana nkra so you know. So be a kopon tokwa no. It was the police ni air fish out all of them. They do more face him.
They are doing it.
And we need the
intelligence.
2013 BSc Tech and then when he was a 2018 or so. BC but when they say you might be CBO, it was say please by now because this goes beyond the school bɔne no modi ɛna bɔne nso de Ghana mmara na edidi so wakosi obi car so wa pre obi
state property wasɛ no
e was a police chiom now tech there no so no e was a police team fish out mmofra na omoto bomb no whether say dey on future resources say dey yenchi omu nkotum
yeah you punish them
we punish them
yeah
punish them next time and lastly no I think the university system Professor Professor Tofik Oha sociologists no more university no more the psychologists they should make use of this and resolve this matter once and for all. What is engineering it? If you know what is engineering it, what measures can we put in place to resolve it once and for all? Yeah, the bamwa, ni ya say, ye school no, ya chere for no more university no, omo ho aba mfaso ama school no, omo ho mfaso no, enye se omo nya mfaso na mama nko. The university system must also benefit from them. But if they continue to teach us at the university, that's still
China man wo ho dia. Ene ne yakwa na se ya bai. Me da se ye bre na ayabe e wosima be ye o aso ane sabat ye hwe briefly. Ye can security ho nsem now amafo ya de of impunity. Obi ye bibia ehu bia ninimu because of for say nti na de bia na make say patriotism ye kan ho asem nyina no. Say leaders no show some kind of patriotism. Yeah, ye dey so obviously you be dey chire so yetumi eso bi kakra de fiom nchai hwe yesi yakو galamsey ye twu etia galamsey and operation hot for no visuals om de amame no ho I'm telling you say Ghana yakeka ko ba bi ahwe ya san beba say a whole on my hene Samara boy ohene forestry commission why you to me among some hwe kwaye so journalist so much say nipa bi ehye kwaye bi mu forest reserve mu etwen sense ase too good na nanon forest for say yakwakohwe yekokodu ho a operators na dwane omo machines and equipment ye seize ye de ko ye yes yakona no obi abebroko kwa match for say ye mamon ko ne nko kina age say mo de equipment na mo sesaye no ama yen ansa na ebeja mama mako me kasa sem we dey be say so one ayo hen kromu ho hen forestry commission wo mo de tumi ama so mo hwe kwae no so ana be bi onipa ne man nso no aho no so aye forest reserve ense so obi aye den ekoho enua ye dua no wakotwetwe ne nyina ana oye ne mining ana onipa dese ne tu nya kokodura beka say eye me asemasi ana me hye wo mo say wo mo block kwan no mama mo nko enti mo fa machines mai ana mo je machines no ansoro mo bie kwan ama nananom ene saa forest commission foi ene incentrofui etumi enyom tie didim. What does this tell us? So o mine bibia omanpe so de ne konwa atoso so okudi atia na one individual betu nya kokodura ka say de mampani aka no me mabu me ne aguso nti de amene meye e de na kire yen ehifa na o meye kekan koi galamsey fight no ye tumi aduru hu ye kwade sen me kan na security nsem nti no ye fa sanka BBC sanka kumbi na kesi beku saa forest for na yanka obri tu si so kun mu nyina sa na
obi ene ho
betumi aka mo hwe we dey yebre no so esu but yen hwe yen for be 2 minutes 3 minutes be come asem.
Are you surprised? Are you?
Yes.
You see, the state of lawlessness Chrome Hano. Until my youth no loses sense of hope in the nation state. Until the hopelessness about youth more de. Look, the fight on Galamsey is dead on arrival because of the people behind Galamsey. Look, let me tell you. Chiefs are Okano. Kaneno, we revered our chiefs.
Yes.
But Cecilia, we don't do that because omuye nema ensem fata so ohene ebeye. Oko behind na sa ye chiefs they are behind most of the Galamsey. Double sales of lands in nema. Kaneno ahimfo no. You are protecting space no for the community. Appetite for wealth in nema you don't have it because the opebia osanka. The second aspect is politicians. Look, when politicians come on TV and radio and talk about fight against galamsey, I laugh. Who are the perpetrators? The Chinese or Muninam ha? Who brings them? Uka Chinese nibi at airport or the security person. Say me can hasten that to happen to the girl. Merely processing the girl to court. Last I followed the case to a court. A trade fair honor design. The court, the district court had trade fair. I went personally, just for evidential purpose, because mitna we had can say look, I met the suspect. They were waiting. I mean, suspect, the complainant. They were rather waiting for the suspect. Why am I?
Really?
Why am I court? Also, Obika has some view. It has ended at the court. So, because of time, look, it's two things. The sense of lawlessness in this country is too much, and it's from the top. So yeah, more Mumbai TV, no radio, but that so say they are fighting this thing. And you, the journalist, are blamed most of you.
Yes.
Mukwa. Now munya sama now mubeka. Now my friend no for corona answer. So yeah, new story way about you. No musibra. No mama baby. Enkwesiga. So we are not doing good to our people. Look, this country. Bibi Ayedruno, that's just the tip of the iceberg. If we don't correct the measures, make our institutions functions, let our law work, and make production the bedrock of our economic rejuvenation, especially agriculture, there's no hope.
Okay. Aladi.
Galamsey fight.
Yes, sir.
What be so say I didn't think Ghana for say two choir. Yen yesuba ye da ye ni ewo e da ni ewo Ghana no.
Emphasize suba no
emphasize suba no enko ho enkoye. What be that question?
There be me imagine man.
The law works.
Omukọ a ana ye kọ a wo ba hu say mranu because wonim say ye chi no a mranu be djuma. Enti o disu pepe. You see, Ghana, the enforcement of our laws is the cause or will cause the downfall of this state called Ghana.
We do enforce
and let me be honest with you, and I'm going to be blunt. Politics hasn't helped much.
Yeah. It's even the root cause.
In fact, time I military regimes,
it was better.
Who be emipamu? Onimse okoya ye chiwa enye kotu. Even though I'm not actually condoning and then I can say endorsing extrajudicial killing. No. Every human being has the right to go through due process. But you see, the way a man will do things here, and we are guilty as politicians. We are the cause of the many problems confronting this country. Yeah, what to me the share say ye. But we the same people, TV so now you can't do there, but behind the scene
we do
it's
the
a
opposite.
different story. Yeah. Galamsey fight consistently. You use force, you use military. Now, BBN and Chere say we have done that over and over. We don't get it resolved, so that at least we adapt a different strategy.
But also be there no there who be.
You see, who observe the situation. The cry here introduced small scale is to address issues of illegal mining. Because now majority of foreigners are more large scales. We don't have the capital as citizens of Ghana to do it. So then the state decided that okay, you have some opportunity to also delve into it. But yes, with the obstacles, SEC coin before Nippon Benya license. Who be sound say on tuya sika one tuya under the table mano. He will be compelled to go and do the wrong thing. Let's look at the processes of issuance of licenses for small scale. Enforcement of the buffer. You see, those forests are meant for a purpose. To fight Galamsey and to succeed and prevent people from going into the forestry,
we need to let the people understand the importance of that forest cover.
Are they not aware? So many.
Are they aware?
They are.
Are you sure?
Very.
Say, the trees serve as your own survivor. Say, uko cutting all the trees, you know. You yourself, you are eventually killing yourself. You think the people are aware?
They are.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because who would accept to take a gun and then shoot himself? Who? So that's the point. That's why I'm asking you. Are they really aware?
Agya is playing the devil's
So
advocate.
I think that the Mineral Commission has a lot to do in terms of education, commercials. I think they should spend more to educate the Ghanaian people and let people appreciate. Look, we sit here and we complain. In the past, we were relying only on Akosombo for our energy production, isn't it? Because of your own conduct. Ama the climate change. Niyama ya say it's sometimes even water through your pipe. You cannot even drink it. Look, people are suffering because of contamination of as a result of obi. Now the question I keep asking myself is that unya sikanu bibriya ukoye na unya na sabi o yare abo because wako nu miswa enye because ebia onu wonya sika obetima ato mineral water. But the poor village person around the area, don't you think that you have a duty and responsibility as a rich mother to also protect the vulnerable?
The moral value.
Even though the state also has that role. But indeed, as individuals, I mean, we are each other's keepers. As we sit here, why? When I know, say, your bomber, why would I want to slap him? So when we believe and understand that it is the survival of Tofik that will make me also survive, I will make sure I will protect the interests of Tofik.
Me that say, Alhaji Haruna. Na I ben mamra so fiora me court of fiction na apom. The impunity. Me wana me problem wo no. Impunity obi betumi aka say a whole state institution. Yes, baby awu ye adwuma no so no. Baby awu ye adwuma no. Emra ma ho kwan se koye adwuma ho. Ana de ade mra hye ne sanse onhwe mo ho ban na ababeka se de awu ye ne nye. Se de awu ye ne ye anka wo ban anka wanwane. Eno no se me na me man krofo no kwan se wo munkutu. Me machines no fama me fama me amema onko. Ama ne je machines no e free state institution ya power no so anya adwuma no enchen.
It's called from above.
And why the share chile sanko ni to me be a 2 minutes so akobetu ya kokudaiza.
Okay, so me summary of we nyina say 1, Ghana doesn't have a full state. We have a partial state, a country and institutions, and these institutions are headed by a political party in government. Me summary no nti say party wa ban mu a on the head forestry, on the head EPA, on the head police, on the head military, on the head BBR. And these institutions control
to the
powers of these, not government or political party in government.
Even regional chairmen have power to order them.
Regional chairmen even have powers more than constituency. Even MCs and even regional ministers.
They have gods.
Until say the whole political system not correct, you know. Some of these things, you know, are repetitive. And yet your law no so ama ahemfo no bi no ase omo you can say omo tumi no abras anti no the party no we ne pe on the tumi no and yes sir some dan can be say unim nkrofo no mo stop this particular forestry unim who are they ana the
video no crawl
ntu be kwatiri no na enya government o a political party secretary bi political party chair bi koye ntumi nya ohwe ya ban ne wo so se waya wie no so no
and so he know the coffee mbebe fia be hu maybe there's some formalization
wo bu ma se wie no na ya enu no media fo yi Agya Kwabena na ka ne say yo ye benya do media house bi a politician bi akotua no the Agya Kwabena ka no counter.
That's right.
Present another report
so
and present it
so when the video we can say you video na mo hwe yesu aye no mo no
present it in a different way to confuse the populace. Nti presenting another way to confuse us na yasanya nipa bi ye mo musika say mo de mo nkotwere comment wase bia me wabruchi na say social media no me hwe TV na social media wo de kotwere comment say eja komna kora store mo story no manye ni yi. So you see how the system works. Nti oman until say ebenya state no media bia meka eja komna. It is not democracy. It is not autocracy. It is state, and the state should be led by a transformational leader. Ne amenoti we amanfo person mo ko Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Obi person ko Kuwait. Obi person ko Qatar. Bisa ho say these countries or person mo ko yi are they practicing democracy? No.
But they have transformation leaders.
Transformational leaders.
Even use Rwanda.
And China.
China. You have transformational leaders and state-led. Maybe more example about one some. You know this guy Jack Ma. Jack Ma wanted to become powerful more than the Chinese state. They brought him down. Now what in Kabu? And your mind, your state. My name say state make an potokasa. And your mind, this your mind can be a asa. But Ghana no any mind. Your institutions or money that and a political party in your head. Even sometimes even the president. You have to Obama president too. By the president head of this, your partial state, you know, a political party because president me can be. Say political party me can say that be and Tiasia. No. They will come after you.
And today, I say president can say, you quite forest reserve no, we now Omoko hono, Samana Boedia no. Now, as we speak, Samatex company just almost lay off about 2,000 of its workers. It's say, in Niano Modria, or why would be joining in ano. Omo de mind na say ni nyina enti no wo mo kwa ne say no maye wo ho ti we ni site wa air forest reserve nso so bi atumi ebura ho
enti lastly make no na wo bisa say enti de omampanyi kafa galamsey
say wo nyina no
onia omampanyi ka no na political parties no secretaries ni chair no mo to esre o manenka ya na ne ba manenka
for the cameras somebody
manenka o kana o kana keke ye be fa achiri ono kra besa my
license no kra they are creating the rules.
So and that is why people are calling for the review of this 1992 constitution. It was say because the sustainability of this democracy no see a reviewer that be a mechanic this our democracy is not sustainable.
Wow.
Okay. Tofik, me be say me hu na me koma. E say you can say
look at how they are digging.
Yes. It's no quiet no first no more ambushi
even this car they can look at the car the number plate the owner of that car.
The owner has come out
and what
the owner has come and says so no and the man kwans omunya
and the state is quite over there.
Yes.
And we say we are fighting galamsey.
Yes.
You have a state.
It's a joke.
You have a state. You don't have a state.
It's a joke.
You don't have a state.
He said
we have
a state.
Until I can say from her, and if you do the wrong things, you are glorified. If you do the right things,
there's no state.
I'm telling you. Asemi ina no mo aka no.
There's no state.
Yeah, but me maybe can area source no say. I remember I mean, from Cape Coast, which is a coastal area. So I remember when we were growing up, and me there all the Tuesday, one couple.
Yeah.
And I know the same practice also happens in the forest zones. Once or days be or they don't go to the sea.
To the forest.
To the forest. Sorry. Fridays. Yeah, Fridays. Okay, and those days they have these myths surrounding reasons why people don't go to either the sea or the forest, and it puts fear in people, and then people resist or desist from going. These days, CISC and we have used science and religion, Christianity and Islam, to throw all these things away. They are all pagan, and fetish, outmoded. So we shouldn't do only baby. We have thrown our cultures away and then borrowed foreign culture. And this same foreign culture, self-imposed on ourselves. On an ocean one way. Our forest reserves are going. The fish, the sea is also drying up. Our waters, fresh waters, that is a source of water to us, Orco. The future of our agriculture, on Orco, climate change, the moment issues of climate change are mentioned, they are issues of life. Alhaji Ali do make mention of that. Yan life in Orukono. What are we doing as a country to mitigate these things? The Minister for Forestry, I mean, we're introducing
lands and natural
resources. So we'll introduce some policy for planting, to plant trees all over. Where has it gotten to now?
But it was even politicized.
So what are we doing to reclaim? As for the president's fight against Galamsey, I respectfully say the president has failed. And I'm not saying nothing can be done, you know, to
you see, Tawfiq, yes. You were making a good point. But when you heap it on the president, we are still rehearsing the same problems. Until now, can't about the nation state.
But in the backstop with the president,
you see,
you
I made mention of the president.
He's a leader.
Mr. Kuti, I made mention of the president because he has led the rhetoric in the fight against Galamsey. I remember when he came to power.
It is his policy.
I want us to look at how we can nationalize the problem.
See, that's what I'm saying. Mr. Kuti, Mr. Kuti,
you are heading a company and you have a policy direction. You do what we call evaluation every now and then to see the success of it.
Understand all of that.
And when you have,
understand all of that.
When you have,
I'm bringing a new dimension to the conversation. We have to move and have a new paradigm.
When you even have senior members of this government engaged or accused of engaging in Galamsey, and I say this to refer to the former minister for environment, natural, Professor Frimpong. We know the issue about excavators.
Yes.
Mesa issue ended, and up till now.
Where are those excavators?
You are not asking me. You are not asking me.
When you go to where they used to be at the aviation landed,
somewhere last year.
So where are they going?
Somewhere last year, and early this year, a interior minister, Ambrose Derry, Ebeka said, Etua Forest. Just one day, about 500 excavators.
Can you imagine?
Yes. And you're mean
so where are they? Where are they? They should use that to go and push the northern roads. So roads are very inaccessible.
Finally, baby, I'm Mrs. Man. Let us revisit our values. Because yen values, yen cultural values, you know, in fighting some of these environmental issues. And also the corruption. These days, they are even more corrupt than Obiao. Ibinum, yes, of course. I'm very grateful for the correction. Ibinum are so corrupt.
It's about the money.
It's about the money.
And I don't know what we do with it. And everywhere is still...
and leave it.
Oh, and some say no. Yes, I'm kese baba Frankensi so say metaka. Say asam kese baba Frankensi so. Na sa asam kese baba na sa Frankensi so a eye. Esin so beto a e from medical bo. En from na ho ode na be kire nso no so a e beto no. Da science ni nyina ya twere clear e wo no say ne ma hye dan koyie. Bebi o man ne keka ko no enkoyie. Bebi esai. Hwe na meka asemi enra anopa. Say, and the US, about 5 states, almost so in Ari, or Madame Kasaka in Ari.
Yeah.
And they say, no, almost so on some, I had the amount.
And Europe as well.
Yes, and in Europe. Ghana, Yakupa Boya Domoyama, as one team be or fame Praden Suk and Cobra, Bremu, Tano, as one team in Akasaka singing.
Oh, yeah,
dear Subai and any as saying and you knew one single river which I say is so with the which I could Asabiano direct
fresh water.
Na ya say no. Ye wo institutions are ye did to me among say mon share na mo Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Water Resources Commission, Ministry of Water and Sanitation. Then so complete office okufuru dia on the any say mon share mo den so ho ban. nanso ene omu nyina wo hefa enti si atena se na yanhwe na yanka na se muje power no wia me initial comment before the discussion we can say politicians trying on the shoulders of the masses to gain power. After getting the power, no one milk na the masses no rather suffers. So it is time for all of us to sit up and say enough. It's
But
enough.
the issue is that when you are demanding for accountability, they said that you have people making excuses for them. If like we were all resolved, who's Sheboa?
Disu. And one no. Madam was say. Tofik Mohammed extra there UPSC. Then I'll say me fan count.
Political science, political communication.
Communication or a political communication lecture. I ain't no to communicate sano. Me da say papa. And na fe mi wa Alhaji Halidu Haruna ono ka NDC communication team no. Hefa pona ko contest here no. Ablikuma Central. Yes. And na fe Ben Insia nkomhweni Ben Insia head of research at the Makopek. Ono na ote me benkum so otoso mienu no. And na fe Emmanuel Kutin miami nua ye fi Saboba. Executive Director, Africa Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. One also na Oshikikia, what year na me am something and from Agya Kwabena. The America Tiani say, ye tria mu time, ye knew me bia se Ghana way. Na see ye better na ho. I'm a few people be. Nipa kakra bi a woman no 600. And then find say be omo 1,000. What they my main kind of say almost 1,000. Say nipa 1,000 no. Ebamba 30 million. Ye dachi be basa. Etuje na. Production team me da mo ase. Ye wa ya do mo a. Da se ne. Ye be san ba. Kakra mo.